Today, I have one of the most genuine and happy people that I've ever come to meet with me today, Sander. He runs a cold email agency, pulling 140K per month without spending a cent on ads.
Sander, founder of VDesane, generating $140,000 a month with websites and email marketing.
If you want to learn how to blow up your business with cold email, this is your guy.
It's a great day to be alive. Nothing else to say.
How was it like going through a moment when your body turned on you? What happened?
It's an autoimmune disease where my body's immune system is attacking my hair follicles.
You're one of the happiest people I know. Like, you're smiling, even in the pictures then and now, you're always smiling.
I kind of spent most of my available cash on the down payment on the apartment. We had some of the worst months ever. We couldn't even pay a salary for ourselves.
I call you the hitman of cold email.
The biggest misconception is that all cold email is spam. It's a direct response marketing channel or sales channel.
You send over 1 million emails right now. What is the most painful truth?
If the personalization is not relevant, then it's not gonna help. It's rather gonna hurt. Go out there, start learning from the right people, and you'll find your way. There's no certain answer.
Hey, what's up guys? Kofi here and welcome back to the Coffee with Kofi podcast. Before we dive into today's conversation, I humbly ask you 2 favors. First, if you're getting value from these episodes, please hit that like button, subscribe, and smash that little notification bell as well. It might seem small, but for me, it's huge. It helps me bring even more amazing guests on the show for you, and it really shows we're building something special together here. Second thing, real quick, if you or anyone you know is running a $1 million plus service business, maybe a home services company or professional services firm or even a SaaS company, and you feel like your inbound marketing just isn't pulling that weight, I got something special for you. My team at Influence Digital, and we're a growth marketing company just in case you didn't know, we offer a free insights call where we dive into your real numbers, CRM, websites, ad accounts, if you have any, you name it. And we speak to your team directly so we can spot where you're bleeding leads, missing sales, or leaving revenue on the table. And these aren't theoretical audits either. Through these calls, we've already saved a SaaS company over $40,000 and helped them double their conversion rates, all with less than $2,000 added spend on that channel. Identified a cleaning company that was bleeding $2,000 plus every month because their revenue ops were stuck only chasing new customers without fixing retention, and caught a roofing company who almost wasted $5,000 trying to DIY their inbound without any proper tracking, while their old marketing agency they worked with was still pulling their live customer data. No fluff, no theory, no selling, unless you really want us to. Just straight facts from your real numbers and a clear map of what is costing you every single month the more you delay. So if you're by chance interested in that, just grab your free insights call by clicking that link below within the description box. And for a warning, spots fill up fast because these are real intentional working sessions, not sales calls. We can only do about 5 a month, to be honest with you. So make sure to lock in your time before you're stuck on a wait list, losing out on more profits each month. Sound fair? Cool. All right, that's it from me. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support. You have no idea how much it means to me. And now let's jump into the episode. Cheer! What is up, beautiful people? How you guys doing? Once again, welcome back to the Coffee with Kofi podcast. Today, I have one of my favorite people in the world, one of the most important people in my lives right now, and one of the most genuine and happy people that I've ever come to meet with me today, Sander. So you see, Sander here, he used to spend his summers knocking doors, selling books, getting told no 50 times before breakfast. What he didn't know though, guys, his biggest battle wasn't rejection. It was actually his own body attacking itself. Now today, he runs a cold email agency pulling 140K per month without spending a cent on ads. That's crazy, right? No hair, no vanity metrics, no fluff. This isn't another automation bro flex. It is not. It's real results of deep sales psychology, brutal A/B testing, and a mindset forged by losing everything that once made him feel visible. All right. So this episode, he's really going to be pulling the curtain wide open. This is the first time that he's sharing his journey and his experience, specifically also on the personal side of things. With that being said, Sander, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for doing this with me, brother. How are you feeling today?
Feeling great. It's a great day to be alive.
Awesome,
Nothing
awesome.
else to say.
Yeah, I love to hear it. No, I love to hear it. Brother, let's dive in. I'm wondering. So, you spent 5 years at Southwestern Advantage knocking doors, which is very interesting because you're from Estonia and you
Mhm.
flew all the way from Estonia here to the US. This was in what year again?
2017 to 2020 or so.
Yeah, look at that. 2017 2017 to 2020. Words.
Yeah,
So, be honest. What did that teach you about rejection most people would never understand?
I guess the main thing is just like every no takes me closer to a yes. So rejection is just part of the game. Yeah, like if you're not getting rejected a lot
Hmm.
of times, then probably you're not asking for enough, or you're not doing enough probably.
That is interesting. You're not
Well,
doing.
at least in business and in sales.
Yeah. Holy cow. But it must have been very demotivating though, like getting all those no's and stuff all the time, especially in door knocking. How did you navigate that? How did you like handle that?
Attitude is everything, really. Like
Mm,
in sales, in face-to-face sales or door-to-door sales. Let's say, yeah, when your attitude is in the right place, then it's
mm,
actually really easy to deal with rejection.
mm,
Uh, but it does take training your mindset, let's say. But of course, sometimes, you can have days when, some days are just different and you feel like you're getting rejected a lot more than usual.
mm,
And when you kind of start to feel that things are not going your way, then in those days, it's sometimes, yeah, it can be harder,
mm,
because we're all human. Of course, like one of the kind of like attitudes or mindsets I had was that, I'm a selling robot, and I do, I think and I feel what's going to help me get better results. Yeah, I know it's a little bit robotic and idea or ideology, but that's one that has helped as well.
Yeah, no, that honestly, that makes sense and it helps because it's one thing I've also realized as well that when you're in these type of scenarios and situations, it's almost like you have to brainwash yourself to into a specific
Yeah,
place so that you can
yeah.
really execute it and all right.
So you see, this thing was really, really big thing when we were working in Southwestern Advantage.
Mm,
It's called self-talk. Like, what are you saying to yourself
mm,
about yourself?
mm,
Or what are you saying to others about yourself as well? This is huge. And of course, you can notice a lot of people doing self-sabotage
mm,
with their self-talk. So
mm,
let's say they make a mistake and then they say, "Oh, I'm so stupid," like similar things.
mm,
While you, it's all about framing actually. When you have a situation
mm,
that didn't go very well,
mm,
then after that it's really what are you focusing on. Let's say when you encounter a failure,
mm,
then you could encounter like, oh, that was so bad, and think in this frame,
mm,
how it's so embarrassing and how, like, what an idiot you are that you made such mistakes.
mm,
But is that going to help you move forward and reach your goals? It's
mm,
not. And you can also think in a frame that, so yeah, that didn't go very well, but
mm,
this is an opportunity for me to learn.
mm,
So what do I learn from this? So what's we had the rule of three positives. Like, what were three positive things about that negative event, let's say? So it teaches me resilience, and
mm.
it's an opportunity for me to learn, and multiple things. Like, it depends on the case.
I love that, and in my time working with you and everything as well too, I've really come to understand exactly how important mindset is even further. And you always take it that further step. I mean, and you're doing huge things, brother. Like you really are. So it's really intriguing to me as to how you always are so hard on mindset and you're always pushing forward. Right now, I want to like also dive deep on that in terms of mindset, because you've had one of the most toughest things that could ever happen to anybody happen to you. I remember when we were on a call and we were just like talking about life and everything, just sharing each other's lives, where we're at, what we used to do. And you showed me pictures of you, like, knocking and stuff like that in Southwestern Advantage and all. And you had hair and all of that. I was like, whoa, 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 wait, hold on. Sandra, what? You had hair? And you're like, yeah. And you
No,
mentioned
yeah, I wasn't born like this, man.
yeah, I was like, yo, what? I mean,
Okay,
you
actually, scratch that. I don't know if I had hair when I came out.
that's funny. That's funny. You would never know. But I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you are a beautiful man even now. And I just gotta know, can you unpack that? How was it like going through a moment when your body turned on you? What happened and everything? Like, if you're okay or comfortable with like
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
raw honesty. Okay.
Well, I haven't openly shared about this previously.
Mm,
Literally, I haven't spoken about it like, let's say, publicly or on some kind of platform or social media.
mm,
So basically, yeah, I used to have like great, nice blonde hair. It just,
mm,
I think it was still like 3 years ago or so. And basically, I had this thing that basically it's an autoimmune disease where my body's immune system is attacking my hair follicles. So basically, that makes hair come off my body. So basically, how it goes is that you start having like spots in on your hair, like smaller spots. Hair is coming off
mm,
really easily
mm,
and doesn't stay as well when it does grow.
mm,
And over time, those spots just kind of get bigger. And those spots usually they started out on the sides of my
mm,
head. And initially, like, that was not a problem because that was my regular haircut that I shave off the sides and keep the top. So it wasn't noticeable for months, for
mm,
more than half a year, I think. But yeah, then, well, I didn't notice. Then it started getting like worse and worse and worse.
mm,
And at some point, I started getting spots like on at the top of my head as well. And yeah, like my hair started getting thinner. And then, I just decided it's easier to shave it. And now, well, to be fair, I don't like hair doesn't grow as it used to anyways. Like I
mm,
still have a little bit of like mustache and beard. For
mm,
some weird reason I still have to shave that. But also, like, what's kind of interesting to share
mm.
about this is that how does it make you feel when
Yeah,
something like this happens to you? I don't know if you could imagine, but for a lot of people, like, hair is a big part of your personality or your self image.
yeah, your
It's
identity.
really connected to your self image.
Mm,
And, even like, it's the same way how people are kind of really, they feel weird if they are acting out of their character, if they're not acting in line with their character. I mean, this
mm,
is kind of similar. So it feels uncomfortable. And the thought of it actually, what, like, before I kind of, like, I knew it's gonna happen soon,
mm,
most likely not gonna have hair. I had this period.
mm,
Well, in general, I've taken it pretty well. I have an abundance mindset, or like, I feel at least that my life is abundant enough that
mm,
if, my bucket is full enough that if this is taken away from my bucket, then
mm.
it's still full enough.
Yeah.
It's not that my bucket is so empty or my cup is so empty, and
Mm,
now even this is taken away from me. I think of it like this, that I'm still like good looking, and
yeah.
I'm still a confident person. So a lot of dealing with this comes from your self-confidence, for sure.
Mm,
And also, I just like my personality a lot,
yeah.
that I like to think that I'm funny,
Yeah.
that I'm humorous,
Yeah.
that I have a good time with my friends and people I know and work with. And so yeah, I remember
Mm,
I remember at least one day where I was like actually really sad. But then again, like that's about it. Like it was just very few days for me. I think that I actually
mm,
thought about it. I think in my life, like say I'm moving fast enough and doing enough things that I don't have too much time to really think about it, which is a good thing, I guess.
yeah. Yeah. No,
So
you're
yeah,
right.
that's what's up.
And again, I mean, you're right with everything. First of all, you are a beautiful man, regardless. And no matter what, it's definitely something that it's hard. I can't imagine what you went through because it's like when I saw the pictures and everything as well too. And with your permission as well, we will also show it's in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
live as well.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I had like dark brows,
yeah,
eyebrows, and
yeah.
like light blonde hair. Of course, if you look at the pictures like before and after, then it would look quite a bit different. Oh, and
Yeah.
actually, one thing that I want to share related to this is that
Mm,
what's been uncomfortable, like after I shaved my head, that
mm,
I was still kind of afraid of like, let's say, when I see somebody in public who, let's say, is seeing me without hair for the
mm,
first time,
mm,
then I feel uncomfortable a little bit. Like, are they going to overreact or are they not going to recognize me, or do they even recognize me?
mm,
So this was uncomfortable in the beginning
mm.
for a few months even. But yeah, recently I guess it's been long enough, like
Yeah.
3 years is long enough. Like I really like these sayings that, time will tell and time will cure. It's just like when you have enough perspective, when you're not so zoomed in at the moment, like, oh my
Mm,
God, this is happening. But if you pull the picture a bit bigger and look at other things as well, then you
mm.
realize that it's pretty random.
And again, it really does speak a lot towards your because Sandra, you're one of the happiest people I know. Like you're smiling every single time, even in the pictures then and now. You're always smiling. You're like a lovely character, a lovely person, and all of that. And the thing too is, I think what shocked me is that this was recent. And this was where it's like it started in 2019 and all coming through, and
Mm.
lots of things happened. 2019, I believe you also started business in 2019 or 2018, specifically with.
So basically, the timeline was like this: that well, actually, so I started selling books like 2017, and I think 2009, like in the end of 2019, I had the first. Actually, I had the first spot on the back of my head. But
Mm,
the interesting thing is that that time it went away. It was there for like 3 months, but
mm,
then it disappeared. Like hair came
mm,
back there.
mm,
But later 2020, we started our agency, like our
mm,
web development agency. And when I shaved my head was 2022, I
mm,
think, or
mm.
something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
2023. I think 2022.
Mm. Yeah. Wow. It's such recent, like changes and stuff and
Yeah.
developments in which you have really handled it well. And even with all of that, like here, because here's the thing, bro, which is really crazy too. You started business, spots were happening, and self identity. A lot of people that I know and don't know will probably go through this whole like self identity crisis and other things, and they will essentially
Mhm.
just hide away from everybody, give up, close the curtains and everything. But you didn't do that. You doubled down on what you were doing with the business and all to the point where you're now even posting content outwardly everywhere where people even know about you and stuff. And you're also recently just became a father as well too. It's like, how do you do what you do with all those things going on? How is fatherhood like and all of that happening whilst you're running 140K per month agency? Like how exactly are you able to do that?
For one, we have a team that helps. I think I had my daughter at the right time,
Mm,
that I was ready for it, even though I'm still just 28. Having kids at the wrong time, I can really imagine how that can be hard. Well, I would like to, how to say, like supply for my family and would like to be able to give them opportunities and things that I didn't have. And, oh, I guess I have this from my childhood actually, even that, I mean, I'm not like from a particularly poor family. I think I'm pretty like, let's say, average Eastern European family. But yeah, we were never wealthy. Definitely, there were choices had to be made. And I have seen from my parents how sometimes there can be arguments over money related issues, about buying certain things or making certain decisions. And I have had this feeling, like for a really long time, that I don't want to ever feel that way. That, let's say, I don't know, you break somebody's phone and that there would be like a huge argument about it. I would like that when there are such events happening, if I break somebody's phone, then I'm like, okay, I'll take responsibility for it. Like, why should we waste our emotions, our happiness over such a random thing that can be fixed so easily? So yeah, the answer is that part of it I already had. We had a good momentum before I had my daughter, but actually I know that there's this saying like hustle in your 20s, build in your 30s, and chill in your
Sure.
40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of believe in this as well, that
Mm,
when you're young you hustle, and now already I'm kind of maybe switching to this because I've
mm,
been hustling a lot,
mm,
that I'm on this build mode kind of,
mm,
that it's like easier to build because we have a good foundation that we've
mm,
hustled together.
dude, I love that. I really do love that, honestly. So, and now it makes me wonder because it's like, bro, like you are again, aside just you like having the 140K per month, like you are instantly certified. You've got all these, like you've got the plaques as well too. You've got all these awards and stuff like that where people like are like pretty much seeing your results because you generate like one of the craziest business opportunities ever that I've ever seen ever within your agency for your clients and for yourselves, right? But as much as all of that is great, nothing great comes without hardships and sacrifice. What was the hardest month running Vidazine? I hope I'm saying that right, right? Is it Vidazine?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. I
what was
mean, you can say V design or V
Vidazine?
design.
Okay. Oh, okay. I like that. Okay. So what was
Yeah,
the hardest month running Vidazine where you almost tapped out? Where it's like you were like, bro, like what the heck is this? I kind of want to just
yeah.
give up or whatever.
Yeah, definitely have had those kind of months as well. Yeah, a few come to mind even. Like fortunately, most of the time, like we have a really good squad, a really good team, like-minded people that are also positive, like from similar background, that
Mm,
have also done this door-to-door sales where basically it was installed in our DNA, this positivity, but also like, to be realistic, I don't like extreme positivity as well. Like it has to be like reasonable.
mm,
But those months, so I think it was probably around like 1.5 or like 2 years into the business, where I had just bought an apartment, like
mm,
investment apartment,
mm,
and I was kind of, when you're young, then you make these decisions pretty quickly. I kind of felt like, it's the right thing to do. That was part of my goals.
mm,
And I kind of spent most of my available cash on the down payment on the
mm,
apartment. The apartment cost only 90K though. And
mm,
at that time, I guess I think it was like 15K that
mm,
I had to put down. And well, the thing is that, and then we had some of the worst months ever. Me and my co founder, Oliver, we
mm,
couldn't even pay a salary for ourselves. And we were like at this point that we were thinking that like we don't even know how long we will not pay us ourselves a salary. Like, is it gonna be a month or two, or that wasn't decided. And even like the thing was that we had I think we even had a few months in a row where we had a we were operating at a loss.
Mm,
And when you have this trend that you see that you're having less money on the company's bank account
mm,
month after month after month, then you kind of start mental mushrooming, or I mean, you just kind of making conclusions where this is headed. And those periods can be really stressful, especially first times they're happening. You can feel that your world is falling apart,
mm,
that the world as you know
mm,
it's kind of same like when you're, let's say, losing hair, that your world
mm,
is changing. So like you feel that this big change is about to happen, and what's gonna happen, you don't know. Yeah, we had this period, but I don't know, we just turned it around kind of with our team that figured out. Or there wasn't even like particular solution, as just we
mm.
started making more sales and kind of figured it out.
Yo, but that
uh,
that is interesting though, bro. Because like, how did you make more sales? Because because a lot of people
yeah,
in those moments, right, where it's like they can't pay themselves a salary for the longest time,
yeah.
as well too, is like like the business account is their personal account, pretty much. It's like a lot of things are just happening where you're like, I don't know when I'm gonna get out of this, but I know I'm right there. Something big is about to happen. I'm gonna make it. I don't know what or when, but what happened where you guys made more sales?
I think why we had the down months,
Mm,
it was probably to do with seasonality as well. Those were some winter months, and we
mm,
have had actually on multiple years where we have had like let's say December or January have been like low months
mm,
for some reasons,
mm,
maybe because of the vacations. And
mm,
we're also probably delivering less development hours
mm,
in December at least. Yeah, maybe those reasons as well. And
mm,
maybe companies are less active in that period. And
mm,
our business was then a lot more volatile. Right
mm,
now it's so much more stable. We have
mm,
built a lot of like recurring revenue services, such as like website maintenance. We
mm.
have 205 or 210 customers paying us every single month for maintaining their website, which
Wow.
is good. And now the email marketing or the lead generation service, this
Mm,
is pretty stable. But
mm,
the web development service is very project based. And
mm.
projects, you get projects and you end projects, and then you get new ones, and there's the revenue can go up and down. So yeah, I can't put, like, other than that, like apart from the seasonality, I guess I can't put my finger on things.
Yeah.
Of course, like, we communicated this to our sales team as well, like, guys, we need to get our shit together, otherwise, we're gonna go home.
Yeah. No, I
um,
love that. I love
and
that. I love that.
and also I remember a few other times that have been hard. I
Mm,
think maybe like a year before that. So you see, when I stopped selling, like doing sales door to door in the US,
mm,
then those summers were always nice. Like my
mm,
last summer doing it, in 3 months I made 25K. But that was, I mean, as a college student, that was decent, especially for an Eastern European college student.
yeah.
And I lived off of that without working or like getting a salary.
Mm,
I worked like I don't know, over 1.5 years or so.
mm,
And then when we started the business, we weren't making that much in the start. Then I remember also, I think there was a time when I was thinking like, yeah, I'm kind of running out of money.
mm,
And I was kind of thinking like, okay, we were already making then like tens of thousands of revenue, let's say
mm,
40K a month or 50K a month or 60K
mm,
a month.
mm,
And but we didn't have any profits back then. Yeah, then I started thinking, okay, what am I going to do if I, don't have money? So you start going through those scenarios, And sometimes it's even good, like think of like when you're afraid of something, or something is like taking over your mind, even like it's so big, then start writing down what's the worst thing that can happen. Write down all the worst things that can happen. Literally, let's say that you're running out of money. So what are the worst things that can happen? I don't know, I'm gonna lose my apartment, I don't have where to live, maybe my girlfriend is gonna dump me, or I'm gonna feel really bad, that I don't feel accomplished, or, affects my ego. And then once you've written down what are the worst things, then start writing down like what are you going to do, or what can you do once those things happen. By the way, this is not, I can't take credit for this. This is a framework of Tim Ferriss, the author of the 4 Hour Work Week. And yeah, this has been a really good framework that I've had to use. And additionally, I would like to add, and like another time, maybe let's say like a year or 1.5 years ago, or somewhere around that, we've had in our business like a long period where we were making decent amount of revenue.
Yeah.
When you look from the side, profit wise, let's say we were like this, that we have a profit month and we have a loss month, and profit loss, or profit loss. And in the end, like plus minus plus minus plus minus equals zero. So that is like, that can be really frustrating when you're a really ambitious person and you
Yeah.
have your goals, and you're also kind of looking at other people, what are they doing, and start to think that grass is greener on the other side. Um, so yeah, then at sometimes I've started to think like, am I really doing the right thing? Like maybe I should change something about what I'm doing. But then again, always with this business, we have always seen potential. Like it's been only like a few question of days that we've had that we have thought this way. Those periods haven't been so long, or I don't think of them like that, at least. We've always seen potential. We've always known like, okay, like let's say if something even goes sideways, then we can always restructure, and we've always known that we're gonna figure it out because of our team, and because we see, you know there's just so many options.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And it's very interesting. And now I want to even ask on that too, because for some people, like I've come to learn it, but first when I got into the space of business, it was it was wild and crazy to me as to how somebody could be making 40, 50K. I've even known of companies making 400K and above, and it's revenue, but then they're barely profitable. And which really came to make me realize is not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. I'm
Mhm.
curious, what did you guys do in this situation in which you were able to now essentially make things work out for you so that you guys have made profits and you are actually able to get better at your business, get better at your service delivery and all of that, and also pay yourselves a salary instead of just making revenue in, whereas you don't get anything coming to you.
So for some time we had this, that we were kind of like, so for the past year and a half, or some period, I just felt like that I'm just an employee, like I am supplying myself a job.
Mm,
There was this period, but now recently, like past 6 months especially, I would say that it's feeling like better and better and better, feeling more as a business owner. Because initially it's this thing that you're, as a founder, and let's say if you have under 50 employees,
mm,
you're probably wearing so many different hats at the company that that isn't fully established yet. So let's say even right now, when we have to hire new people, let's say we need to hire a new designer, or we need to hire a new developer, or we need to hire a campaign manager for lead generation department, or a project manager, or we're hiring for sales, then this is I often take responsibility for it and have to do it, and then I have to do those interviews, and then I know that the interviews are gonna pack my week at those periods, and I have to make the job post. I have to write it. I have to give it to the designer to design it, etc. Things like that. And also, I'm responsible for like our marketing and like even though right now I'm really focused on our lead generation department because that's growing really fast. So it's growing fast and it's profitable from very soon. Like it just has a better model, less competition, or just a really good value proposition. It's easier to acquire new customers. So
Mm.
so so yeah, basically kind of shed the light like how it's been. And and where it's going is this: that before I was also selling and managing some of our bigger, let's say, software development projects. Yeah, that was the time where it just felt like, I mean, I was making decent money on the sales as well. It just felt like a high paid job, or high-ish. But then recently we hired this analyst, or like technical project manager, who basically I gave all my projects away for to that person, and now I can, finally I had so much free time that I could focus on things to scale the business better. But of course, like at first, like they say often, like as at first you have to do the unscalable thing.
Yeah.
So I had to be in the trenches myself to establish our software development division or direction as well, to be able to hire a person there to take care of it. So, but what did we change? To be fair, well, one thing we changed was that we have financial manager now, or yeah, like we are not a lot more aware of our finances. So we
Interesting.
divided the business into departments, and we're measuring the profitability of each department. So the revenue, and yeah, like it may sound really simple, but honestly it's not so simple.
No, it's
Like
not.
running, let's say, 1.5 million business, it can be like big ecosystem already,
Yeah.
where you're even like, if you don't have full overview,
Yeah.
then it's really hard to put your finger like how are we going to make this profitable. Financial analysis is one answer to that question. But other than that, it's just math in this way that we have fixed costs in the business. So let's say that those are mostly like some salaries and office space and some software costs, etc. And for us, it's really like this: that when right now, when we are doing 110K in revenue, we're breaking even. But when we're doing over than that, then we're turning a profit. Fortunately, last 2 months we've done 140K in revenue, so you can make some calculations. We've had some nice profits last 2 months.
Nice. I love that. I love that.
Um,
Okay, that makes sense. What you say is very true. It's very interesting how you won't realize how much financial analysis really just does help cure a lot of things. So having that financial analyst or having somebody that's a financial controller or financial arm can definitely bring a lot of things to the table for you. That is a very interesting thing. Okay, bro. So then now in that situation, like I call you personally. I've never told you this. I'll tell you this on this podcast today. Every single time I talk to anybody about you, I'm like, oh yeah, bro, look, shoot, I'm working with the hitman of cold email. I'm telling you, he is the hitman of cold email, right? That's what I personally say, right? So you are the hitman of cold email. You've built this company to
I'm
140K.
Agent 47.
Age of 47. Let's go.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, let's go. Right. So now you've done this zero ads, cold email, lead generation. What do people still get wrong about cold email?
I don't know if I'm just biased, but the biggest, I guess, misconception is that all cold email is spam. There are some campaigns where what we're running that are strictly, yeah, it's like it's really a volume game where it's just impossible to find the signals of companies who are like a really high fit,
Hmm.
that basically it's a service that anybody might need. And yeah, maybe they have like some kind of revenue line, like whom they want to work with. I would still say like it's a direct response marketing channel or
Hmm.
sales channel. Same way how people don't like salespeople calling them sometimes. Or I mean, let's put it like this: you don't like bad salespeople calling you and
Yeah.
wasting your time pitching you shit. If there's a really good salesperson, you're
Hmm.
gonna even like talking to them
Hmm.
because they're really good at what they do. They're really good at grabbing your attention. Yeah, sometimes even for personal or other professional reasons, you're gonna
Hmm.
like talking to them. The experience can be really pleasant. And
Hmm.
actually, same with cold email. I
Hmm.
don't like receiving irrelevant emails, and
Yes.
I don't like sending irrelevant emails. So you flip it around. I like receiving relevant emails and I
Hmm.
like sending relevant emails. How we are able to do it is by using the right signals to
Hmm.
sell, um, and to build databases and pull data, like scrape data and process it using language learning models,
Hmm.
AI. That's been really game changer in lead generation space for the last couple of years.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, you're right because like the thing is it's very interesting. Before, because I used to do cold email first when I started, and I stopped. So at first it was just volume, and volume was all right. It could get you by, right? I made a lot of cash collected when I did that as well too, in like my first or third month, right? Now when I came back to it, I try to do the same. I blasted so much, which is why we ended up working together because I blasted so much and literally nothing was coming. I was like, wait, what the heck? And I came to you and you said that thing of relevance is key. Relevance is way better and way more than volume. In which, in some cases, and your results are wow too. I've seen you just send like about 600 a day or so, and your response rates are like through the roof and stuff, the positive replies and everything in the deals that come from it. How you say AI is game changing with the LLMs and everything of that sort. How far would you say that goes, especially in 2025? Is that what you're doubling down on in order for you to win even better, to crush your competition and get better results for you and your clients?
Well, to be really transparent, I think most of our results are coming from focusing on the basics. It's just knowing your sales metrics. It's also like structuring a really good offer,
Mm,
like a really good value proposition, like understanding the person whom you're
mm,
targeting,
mm,
and understand what are they going to care about, what are their main frustrations at work, what are their responsibilities, what about your offering, and how you structure it in a way that they're really gonna care about it. Yeah, that's a big part of what we do.
mm,
It's just communication. But yeah, AI is just we're able to build databases that we weren't able to before. I'll just give you an example. Let's say that you go on a website where
mm,
there's certain, let's say, job listings,
mm,
and you can scrape the website and you can get the company names, you can
mm,
get position whom they're recruiting, and description. When you don't have the emails, who or how are you gonna contact them? Like
mm,
on a scale, are you gonna find the emails manually?
mm,
Like it's really time consuming to do it. So
mm,
nowadays you can use AI to find domains based off of the business names. And when you have the domains, you can find all the emails from those domains. And you can even use AI to find the relevant person at those domains to talk to about this. Yeah, that's just an example of how you can use AI, and also you can process data on your target lists websites, and you can make sure. Let's say we run a campaign for a sustainability conference. So we found companies who had a sustainability initiative on their website. You used to have to do it manually, like
Yeah.
a lead qualification. And now literally you can remove this work at scale. Like AI is just helping make outreach so much more relevant. And then you can also scrape data points that make you so personal. So I don't know, let's say you're selling a CRM, and you really know, like on LinkedIn they have 5 people in sales, and you can already like calculate how much you're gonna save them with your CRM, or that you can find if an e-commerce business is selling something certain on their website. You can say that you don't have X products on your e-commerce store, and you could use it as a way to approach them.
It's very interesting and it's very intriguing how the game of AI has really changed a lot of things here too. And you've shared a lot of sauce here as well too, by the way, right now, because which leads me into my next question for you as well too, because you sent tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of cold emails. You have. What is
We've sent over 1 million emails now.
Look at that, boom, right there. Sent over 1 million emails right now. What is the most painful truth you've learned about personalization?
I don't know. Let's just sum it up that again, relevance. Like if the personalization is not relevant, then it's not gonna help. It's rather gonna hurt. Yeah, like you just have to build relevance with your email, or well, the other way around is that it just you can actually write in a really witty way that makes people think that it's handwritten, the approach. That's also possible. That's part of what we have succeeded to do as well.
Can you share a little bit more on that, because
Yeah.
that's actually also one I wanted to also ask, and all, like how exactly you make your emails not sound like templates and all of that, because a lot of people today, they just go and they just type it to chat GPT, like, write me an email to this or whatever, and then they put the metrics in there and then that's it. But then I also came to, like, learn from you and understand as well too that you don't want to do that necessarily, so
Well, basically, by the way, ChatGPT, like you can use it, but you
mm,
have to know how to use it.
mm,
If you just prompt it really lazily, then you can get a really bad cold email like approach. But if you prompt
mm,
it well, it can. Well, I never used the whole email generated by AI, but I've got some really good ideas,
mm,
and just as an example of what we've seen, like how to write the email in a way that makes it feel like it's handwritten. Like
mm,
sometimes if you lead with a story. So, for
mm,
example, we're running a campaign for a payments provider for e-commerce businesses,
mm,
and literally, so sharing some secret sauce here. So the copy starts in this way that. I was on your e-store and I added a few products to the shopping cart,
mm,
and I went to checkout, which made me wonder, are you satisfied with your payment solution?
mm,
Um, so basically, well, we didn't do it. We didn't go to their store physically, but it's like how you frame the story, or
mm,
stories. come alive in people's heads.
Mm.
So yeah, this is an example.
I love that, bro. What is the weirdest but most effective source you've scraped leads from?
I can't even say, I think.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
I mean, well, there's one example that I just can't share, but
Okay.
but then again, like there's some interesting ones like that are not available everywhere. So there are some lists of schools that have been good. It depends on the campaign. Like this won't apply to everyone, but there was a company who wanted to decide shops inside malls, like
Mm,
shopping centers, and we just went on their website, scraped all the contacts, and that that was a campaign where we got like 50 meetings in 10 days,
mm.
which was good.
The
Yeah,
results.
Google Maps is actually pretty good for local businesses.
Okay.
That's been good for sure. Oh, so some other ones now. If you find some certain really relevant technology on somebody's website,
Mm.
that can be huge. So you can do it using builtwith.com or
No, bro, that's dope already. Honestly, because you draw some gems and sauces here. Honestly, especially with a built with one, because it all comes down to the aspect of the relevancy and everything as well here too. So that is honestly really dope. And look at that, like 15 meetings in 30 days. That's crazy.
50,
50, 50.
50 in 10 days.
And
Make that.
what?
Yeah. That
Oh
was a
my god.
campaign we ran like already, I think, a year ago.
Oh my god, dude. That is, guys. You see what I'm saying? This
But we
guy's.
had a really good offer as well. So it's a
Mhm.
combination of a good list and a good offer.
Now I love that you said that. Like, let's. How about we get to that part? Because it's like your company. You guys guarantee landing 20 plus qualified leads, at least 20 qualified leads a month with anybody, right? And so
Hmm.
far, generally, like with I think a 99% or 99.5% rate, you've always delivered that, right? So now it makes me wonder because a lot of things with code email now has changed. You said like, if you have a great list, great offer, great copy, it works. What else is there? Like what else is there that and this could just be basics, but we know code email has changed right now, specifically in the way it goes. What else is there that somebody needs to keep in mind in order for them to send a healthy amount of cold email to produce some great results within a month? What do they need to have in place?
Well, email infrastructure,
Mm,
and also like you have to know, let's say, deliverability guidelines or how to send emails in a way that you're going to end up in the inbox instead of the spam, and how to do
mm,
it at scale.
mm,
So basically, like to succeed, you're gonna have to have multiple domains, and you
mm,
have to send basically a maximum of 100 emails per domain
mm,
per day if you don't want emails ending up in spam.
mm.
If you want to fly under the spam radars.
It's very intriguing how a lot of things have now come into play, especially with the email infrastructure aspect as well too. And I know it's like there's a lot of different things, but with code email,
Yeah,
especially,
there's
yeah,
also warm up. You see,
yeah,
what which a lot of people don't know about. And there's spin tags.
hmm,
So basically, not sending the same exact copy to everybody, but sending variations, like heavily a lot of variations of the same
yeah.
copy. You can even use AI to make those variations.
No, I like that. I love that. It's very intriguing how like that has also come into play. Wouldn't you say that like because with this infrastructure and everything, because now basically with everything that we've been talking about too, right? Is like systems is the one thing that helps you win. Doesn't that become expensive for people and all of that? Does that mean that like, well, not as expensive as paid ads, right? But pretty much essentially it comes to a situation where this becomes a whole aspect of you need to like pay to have the right infrastructure to win. Would you say that's the case with code email?
Yeah, well, for sure. But then again, if you compare it with other channels, like it's just I don't know, 40, 50 times cheaper than other channels for getting leads and marketing.
So, Sander, this has been absolutely amazing. Just my last question for you here as well, too, because you're dropping lots of gems. Someone listening right now probably wants to rebuild their cold outreach. What's the one change that they can make right now that will make such a huge difference?
I think I would respond in this way that go out there, start doing research,
Mm,
start learning from the right people, start
mm,
go onto YouTube, look for tutorials, look at Instantly AI's tutorials, Clay tutorials,
mm,
uh, and you'll find your way because it's it's there's no certain answer for
mm,
this. Yeah,
mm,
it's really case specific.
Okay, it's all about the systems and stuff, case
Yeah,
specific.
you have to learn it. Let's say
Mm, mm.
it takes learning.
Okay. No, brother, like honestly, you're right. And again, that is why, like I'm even working with you. And I know a lot of other people are as well. This has been game changing so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all the gems and stuff that you dropped for sure. And I'm sure as heck looking forward to more. Depending upon their response and everything as well too that happens, we may need to have a code email mastermind as well too with you sometime for sure, if you're down with that. Right.
Yeah,
But
sounds interesting.
awesome, awesome. I love that. Awesome. But with that being said, I know you have to go. Thank you so much for this. Guys, this has been amazing. Sandra has just dropped some gems. Sandra, if anybody's looking to work with you, if anybody's interested or whatsoever, where can they find you at to reach out to you in order to get that work going?
Yeah, just find me on LinkedIn and I'm posting content every single week anyways
Mm,
to, teach people, to help people and I guess to build trust with people as
awesome.
well. So find me
Awesome.
on LinkedIn and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, awesome. I love that. I love to hear that. All right, brother. I will not keep you much any
Yeah,
longer.
thanks for having me,
Of
man.
course, brother.
It's
Thanks for
been
being here.
great
Yeah, as always.
discussion.
Always, always, as always. All right, brother. You take care, all right? All right,
All
guys.
right.
See y'all. Ciao.
Ciao.